Hey, you guys. So currently I'm watching the podcast interview with Nicki Minaj and Bryce Crawford. And maybe 5 minutes in, 10 minutes in, and something that I'm just having thought, right? I'm having thought. And right now she's talking about, faith without work. And she's talking about uh, how often she prays, and she said something, and it was just kind of like that light bulb moment. And I experience life as in everyone having a different journey, because every soul has its own specific journey. But I think that something else that I was thinking about was Joe Dispenza and how he speaks about not everyone believes in the same thing, even though it can be like similar. He may not have said it in those words, but he basically said it that way. Anyway, something that, was very bright to me was she said that she prays every moment. She's talking to God all day. And that's something that I do. And I feel like prayer, many people get down on their knees the traditional way and pray to God, but I feel like praying to God is a conscious work, because I also have come into alignment with God being source consciousness. And consciousness is that awareness that God exists. So when I think about prayer, I think about it being that conscious work that I'm aware that God is aware of who I am and I'm aware of it. So not thinking about God in the sense of the human body being man or woman, but God being a source of light, a source of consciousness. So my conscious thoughts are being sent to God in light speed, right? So even when I'm thinking, does God hear me? God is hearing me think, do I think that God hears me? You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm in that part of the podcast. I'm going to listen to more, and I'm going to have more insight about some of the things that are being said. I think that it's amazing that she's having this conversation, because it's allowing us to get to know Nicki Minaj in a more spiritual aspect and what she thinks about spirituality. There was something else that she said too before I continue to watch more. She said faith without work. And I think that when I first started my journey, I was thinking about it from a place of, well, I thought that, like if we're just present and just believe in God, then God will just magically allow things to happen. And I won't say that that didn't happen. What I will say is that I realized that there had to be the work, not only on myself and what I thought consciously, but also to recognize that I had to put in the work. If I said that I want something, I had to show the divine, like, hey, I'm working towards this. This is what I want. I'm working towards it, right? But I think that it became, at first it was difficult to kind of understand the concept of presence and what it meant to be present, because my idea of presence was, if I think it, if I believe it and I let it go, then, well, I mean, that's the idea of manifestation, but my idea of presence was just simply being present, just simply being still. It was kind of distorted, because I thought, oh, being still and being present are the same thing. So if I'm just still and just waiting and just present, then things are going to appear for me. And that's not to say that it didn't happen, not to say that that wasn't happening, but there also had to be the work. Like, I had to do the work. Like, say if I wanted to be a musician, I had to go seek people that understood the way that I was creating music, or I had to seek those people that were able to understand my vocality and my timbre, and not to say that God didn't place experiences in my life that were like that, but if there was a person that didn't understand, I had to kind of challenge that, which also put work towards who I was becoming, to be able to stand up for myself if I wasn't able to stand up for myself. If God seen those places that I needed to work on, those were also instilled in those people that I came into alignment with. But I found a presence in knowing that I can make decisions for myself and go off of what I felt from people. So it also like allowed me to be more present and hone my gift and hone what I felt, and just I was really able to stand in that and say, hey, this is what I feel. From this person, if I know a person is able to do something for me. But I think that, sometimes doing the work, I was like, I kind of felt like at some point I did feel entitled to having people show up as I needed them to be. Like as I was doing the work, I was like, I've been doing the work for so long. There should be people that I shouldn't have to do extra work for to be just how I needed them to be. But faith without work, or you have to be able to balance these things, So instead of judging it, I allowed it to be, because I think that was also like one of the things that played on my perfectionism, my perfectionistic qualities. So God was also working on those parts of me. So yeah, faith without work is one of those things that it's like you can have all of the faith. You can have all of the faith, but if you're not consciously working, if you're not working, to do those things, then it's like, where are you going to get to? So yeah, I definitely agree that, faith without work is a thing. And we're talking about someone who is Christian background, and I also have a Christian background, but I have stepped more into spirituality, which has allowed me to search my soul myself, because it's my soul's journey. And not to say that she isn't on a soul journey, but I think that spirituality allows you to go more in depth with self, and realizing that other people also have other people also have a soul journey. I was going to say tie, but when I'm saying tie, I just realized equal. So it's not to denounce what anyone else believes in. And I've been saying this for so long. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this podcast so far. So I'll come back with more of what I think about what's being said.